Hey, and welcome back to Thursday Night Live, where we talk to interesting, exciting people every Thursday night with my co-host Patrick and myself, James. And tonight is no different. Tonight, we're very lucky because we have an experienced and talented podcaster in her own right, Syya. She's the founder of Brilliance Beam Media and helps businesses bring humanity to digital content for social media. She's a longtime listener of old-time radio shows, and during her 20 years in corporate technology sales and IT recruiting, she took that love with her. Syya embraced her creative side and left corporate America to go all in with podcasting, digital content creation, and entrepreneurship. Well, welcome, Syya. I am so happy you're here. So we're going to start in the area of motivation, because I talk a lot about motivation, and I like to find out people's journeys. And your journey is very interesting because you went from IT selling tech, after 20 years of tech sales, and you took a break, traveled the world, got to see the world, and then decided for some reason you were going to become a major podcaster.
Oh my gosh.
So how did you go from selling tech to traveling the world to podcasting? How does that journey happen?
Yeah, you know what? First off, thank you so much for having you guys. You're so much fun. And I feel like you did a better job writing my bio than I did, because I know what I sent and I know that wasn't it. So I just want you to know, I'm glad we're recording this, right? Because I need to capture that.
Okay.
So yeah, no, I mean, like, oh gosh, like life. It's a meandering path at times, right? Especially if you don't know what the hell you're doing with yourself. And I think I got lucky. So I grew up in Southern California, and was supposed to be a winter help summer job after I graduated high school. Turned into a 6-year stint, 6.5-year stint. And basically it was the most amazing experience because it was with the Disney Corporation. So I worked at Disneyland Hotel. And this is how, guys, I can really date myself, is we were the pilot crew that tested the character dining experience. So if you ever been to Disneyland or Disney World and you go to a restaurant and then there'd be like Goofy there or whatever, we were the pilot for Goofy's Kitchen. And so let me tell you, not only did they know what they liked from us, they absolutely knew what not to do with us. It was so much fun. Oh my God. You can't give college kids and kids like barely turning 21, like keys to being creative and creating a restaurant concept. It was amazing.
That's super cool.
Oh yeah, no, I will always be a Disney person. Though they're extraordinarily like structured, there was still a lot of creativity around it. And I think I carried that as a kid. Right. And, well, all good things sometimes comes to an end, as far as I was having far too much fun, making way too much money, cash in hand, because I waited tables, by the way, right? That I basically took a semester off from college, which turned into a 3-year hiatus. And after a while, I noticed all my college friends had graduated and moved on, and here I was still waiting tables and all that stuff. And I was like, look, kind of had a soul searching moment of like, okay, lazy ass, you can't be partying all the time, can't do the get off work at 10:30 and drive to Las Vegas, have fun and gamble and come back and go back to work the next day thing. So I ended up moving up north to get away from everything. And then that's when I embarked on the second path that basically made me go down tech sales. So took a job as an IT recruiter. And that's always so fun during the .com days. And then I got introduced to some friends and got a job at a company called Sonic Wall, selling cybersecurity solutions, endpoint security solutions, and then got recruited to HP. So Hewlett Packard Enterprise, or Hewlett Packard, which turned into Hewlett Packard Enterprise. Yeah. And then, suffered almost 10 years there. Kidding. Loved my time at HPE. Loved it. Hated it.
They're dead horse now, I believe, aren't they? Like, do they even do anything but build printers now?
Oh, no. They split up. So yeah, no, they're still very much a viable company. So there is what we like to call the ink and desktop people. So
Yeah.
that's the Hewlett Packard that everyone understands, that blue and white teal like branding. And then there's Hewlett Packard Enterprise. That's all the data center stuff. That's like you know, the core of a lot of businesses. So that was
Right.
my side. And
Right.
yeah, a lot of fun. I mean, it was a lot of growth.
Were you selling
Oh
stuff
yeah.
there? You were
Oh
selling
yeah.
like printers and tech, or
Yeah. Yeah. So I was an account manager and executive. Like, so I, by the end of my time and tenure at HPE, I managed the business, between Hewlett Packard Enterprise and a large telco, based in Sweden. And so I managed the business out in the United States. And, yeah, let me tell you, so I owned that account, if you will, relationship, and then there were, specialists within each division within HPE. So there's nothing more fun than owning an account, saying, "Yeah, I'm the account manager," or whatever, and
yeah.
then having like a team of 40 people on your team, not one report into you, but you have to carry all their numbers.
Wow.
Brilliant. Yeah, I could see why you'd be sick of that pretty quick and moving on to try to figure out what's next in your world. And Syya, obviously, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We kind of got a little bit of the back behind the scene vision of kind of who you are as a human being. And as much as the tech sales in general, that personality, that flair would really come through, Hewlett Packard doesn't scream it for me.
Uh, okay,
Like corporate
so
culture. Like, what do you got in your hand right now for us, dear?
this is apple juice.
Right.
Apple juice. Right.
Yes.
So I have known
Yeah.
Syya for about 12, maybe 15 minutes, and we have
Yes.
talked a plethora of issues, none of which I figured we would get to today. And this lovely woman has a personality that shines and is a beautiful human. And this has been, I had some tech difficulties there, so I was in and out of that conversation, and I apologize from that. But you just say, enough is enough. You pack your bags, and where's your first destination when you leave that world?
Well, that's funny. They made the decision for me. So I knew it was time to go. I knew it. But in my gut, I'm like, well, shoot, I'm making good money. So do you leave a good job? Stressing you out? Guys, towards the end, full disclosure, I was in telco, and it was right between, and you probably don't know if you're not technical, but there's a ratification process between 4G and 5G. During that time when people are like, "Oh, well, are we going what direction? What does 5G look like?" Well, all your service providers ain't buying equipment until they figure that out, right? Because they're going to have to code everything and all that stuff. And so, and I, in fact, I know some of your Canadian counterparts because my team managed that. And there was nothing more fun in life to the year before had a massive deal that went through, and so they gave us that quota on top of it, and I was like, great, thank you, we made money, and now you're expecting me to hit a quota that I will absolutely never attain. So every week I would break out into hives on our forecast calls because I was like, yep, nothing changed today. Yep, nothing changing tomorrow.
Right.
Yeah. And for those of you out there that don't maybe understand the tech side of that, is that your 4G, you're looking at different cellular processes and different devices. It's like literally taking you from your old flip phone to your Apple now. Like it is such a heavy tech upgrade that a company sits there and goes, why would we invest if the technology is going to change exponentially in a very short period of time? So it makes total sense. You're working off a massive corporate buyout package because the technology has changed, and then you're chasing that forever. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, and these projects, because again, they're telco, so it's all telecommunications, it's all underpinnings. This is like the foundation of all of your internet access, anything, the Internet of Things, right? Smart cities, it's the underpinning. And if there is uncertainty at that level, nothing's happening. Yeah. So yeah, I left. And so to answer your question, I apologize because you're giving me flashbacks. Hold on. Flashbacks.
Flashbacks. Apple juice.
Should we do the music like
Apple juice? Yeah.
Scooby-Doo. Yeah.
Yeah. So the first thing I did when I left was we went to Alaska. I already had a pre-trip done, scheduled. So I left in May. Oh yeah. So they said, hey, look, we're downsizing. You either can find another job within the company or take a package. And I was like, deuces.
Hi.
Took a package. So
Deuces.
yeah, I couldn't. Oh, and thank God, my boss. We're still text today, and he gave me the package. He goes, "I don't want to do this." I'm like, "We're good, dude." I'm
Yeah.
like, "Pot's right." Like, seriously.
Trust
So,
me, dude. We are good.
We are good. I'm out.
oh, he knew. He
Yeah.
knew.
Yeah.
He knew. He knew. He knew. Yeah. And that's the thing too, right? When you think about life and your journeys, if you can find people that you could really connect with and really truthfully speak, like from where you're at, there's so much better for you to help you along. So he knew I was struggling. He knew my heart was starting to like really wane. And as you can tell, I'm a bit of a wallflower. So if I'm not passionate about something, I just go off a cliff. I'm like, woo.
This
I'm
is
like,
no
woo.
Right.
Yeah. Woo.
Yeah.
So we went to Alaska. Oh no, wait, Alaska. Yeah, we went. Alaska was first, maybe, then Greece. Oh my God, this is so bad.
That would be quite the opposites, Alaska and Greece.
Well, so went to Alaska with my boyfriend's parents. It was our 17th anniversary, and we took mom and dad with us. He
Nice.
has family out in Alaska too, and I've always wanted to go. And so, allegedly, his mother and I schemed to get us there. And then Greece was with our friends, so there was like 10 of
No
us, and we
evidence.
just no evidence. No, of
No
course
evidence
not.
of that scheming or plotting. No. There might have been like
No.
maniacal cackling a couple of times throughout the trip, but no other evidence.
No, it's bad. It was good. It was so good. Yes. Oh yeah, we decided yeah, it was awesome. There's nothing more pleasurable in life when dad's like, "Okay, I don't care," and the boyfriend's like, "Really, you too?" Because he's outvoted
Right.
at that point.
Perfect.
Yeah,
So
but
then you got to travel to Greece.
yeah, I think. Oh God, you guys, that was like 2017, right? So Alaska was gorgeous. Drop dead. If you guys have never been, oh wait, you guys are Canadians. You see gorgeous mountains. Okay, well for
Yeah.
foreigners like us, we don't get to see that
Yeah,
flat.
the beautiful mountain peaks of Peterborough. Let me tell you.
Is there no? Is there no? Okay, I gotta look that up.
We have a lot of rivers and forests, but not so many mountains around us.
I like rivers.
Yeah,
It's like
so we have
it's like water. Oh my
great
gosh.
rivers that you can kayak and canoe, and we have a beautiful Canadian Shield that you can climb, but there are no mountains. I'm sorry, profiteers out there, but Pat is not broken. He is just having technical difficulties. Normally it's me, but James upgraded his internet provider. So now I don't freeze all the time. I'm pretty happy about that. So we get you to Greece,
Yes.
and your friend starts saying, "Hey, we should do a podcast." Is that when she
Oh
started?
no. We went to Greece, and then I went to Thailand, and then with my sisters and my nieces and my mom, 21 days, 6 women. Don't do that.
That's not a good idea.
Profiteers out there, do not do that. I don't care how much you think you love your family. Don't do that. Hell no, don't do that.
No.
Yeah, it was bad. Oh yeah, it was not good. Anyway, but hey, we've recovered. It's only been like, 2017, 18, like 5 years, and we're now starting to talk to each other again. So yay.
Yeah, and there's no trauma at all. I can tell. Your hand's not shaking or nothing.
Hold on. No. I'm not encouraging that, you guys. This is apple juice. Anyway, so we went to Thailand, and then God, you guys, I do have to say, if anyone that can go to Thailand, hit me up, man. I can tell you all the temples, because that's where my mom took us. I'm like, Mom, hey, there's other places we can go. Just saying. And mind you, my sisters are all Christian too. So I'm like, good times, Mom, but we got to move along. But they are gorgeous. It's just history. It's all part of Thailand. Anyway.
Right.
Oh, small fun fact. Do you remember that soccer team that got stuck in the caves back in 2017, whatever, right?
Yeah.
We were there. We were literally right by there, and we were driving on our way to what they call the Golden Triangle, and they blocked it off. So we were literally there, and it was raining. It was wicked. It was frightening, actually. Yep. So yeah, that was crazy. So yay, guys. Yay for you.
Yeah. Thanks for getting out. Yeah. There was something recently I heard in the news about that. There was someone involved in that rescue. I can't remember exactly the story, but there's something in regards to one of the guys that was involved in the rescue who they found murdered here in the last week.
Oh no. Yeah, there were Canadian, right? One of them was, or British or Canadian. I do know one of the kids died, unfortunately. But I do know during the rescue people passed, but after the fact, I've not heard that. I heard one of the kids passed though. That sucks.
I unfortunately know nothing about any of this. I briefly heard about it, and Patrick's frozen again. So
Oh my God. Hey, you know what's funny? I want to be like him. If I'm frozen, I just want to be like,
yeah, right. He always stops and like he's.
This is the craziest shit we've ever had. I've never. I swear to God, Syya, we have never had this ever this bad.
No.
Yeah. Awful.
This is the worst.
It's got to be that damn 5G.
It's got to be.
Well, you do know. Okay, so 5G has nothing to do with bandwidth. 5G is just a capacity.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. The sales pitch.
Yeah.
It's not sales pitch. It's the truth. It's just able to accommodate all the different devices. It has nothing to do with your actual data bandwidth, like that.
I think Hewlett Packard heard what you said, Pat, and they're shutting you down.
Oh yeah. They're like,
they're reaching through and going, "You're not talking no more."
We're unimpressed with you, Patrick.
Right. Right.
Our sales have gone down already.
Yeah, I feel like I got to get some shit in here before again, and that's the end of the fucking story here.
Well, we were just talking about she wasn't aware if.
I can hear everything. I can hear everything. I just can't. I can't partake. I just go. That's it. That's all I got. Holy shit.
Okay, so who died? I didn't know.
No, I didn't know either. But I was just gonna say something smart alecky, and then it slipped away already. So the moment has been lost. Well, anyway, so after Thailand, what did I do? Then we went to. Okay, I went to 5 locations. This is so bad. Alaska, Greece, Thailand, Turks and Caicos was the next one, I think.
Yeah.
Oh my God! How could I?
Are you like a beach girl? Like, is this something that's like a priority on your list? Obviously, Alaska a little less so, but are you a beach girl? Like Mai Tai in hand?
Okay, well that is a yes, but I found out very quickly. The older I've gotten, the less I am beach. I'm getting old. I'm crossing over that old person side where I'm like, just give me a cabin in the woods away from everyone and F them all. I think I'm like one step away from becoming like the Unabomber's best bestie.
Right.
Neighbor.
We could be like sending smoke signals across like 10 miles and be like, you're close enough. You need to like step back a little bit. Yeah, no. And then, but the big trip was we went to I did my boyfriend's genealogy after I left work, and I was playing, basically playing with myself, doing like yo-yo, and I'm like, I gotta figure out what the hell to do with myself. But I didn't want to go to work at that point. I knew mentally and physically I just wasn't there. So I was like, well, I've always been interested in genealogy, and so I did my boyfriend's genealogy, old school way. So like old school way, as in I just signed up with Ancestry.com and let them do all the work. But in full disclosure, I did do additional research to validate a lot of the data that came in. But I was able to do his family tree. And so Mom, you'll see a recurring theme here. Mom and I schemed again, and we ended up doing a pilgrimage. So found out that he's Irish and English, and we discovered on Dad's side Finnish. I'm sorry that we disappointed you that he was Irish and English and Finnish.
Well, Pat,
literally, as you're saying it for the first time in this conversation, it cut the audio, and I'm like, I will never know where we are in this whole conversation. I have no idea what's going on right now.
Right, Pat, exit, come back.
Oh, you know what?
He's Irish and English. Exit and come back, Patrick.
Yeah. So, he's so upset.
Exit and come back.
Syya, I am so sorry. This has been the wildest tech bullshit that we have ever had. Ever.
I'm just gonna say it's probably me. If there can be a possible shit show to anybody, that's why I don't guess very often. Because I swear to God, like everyone has all these technical problems, and I'm like, not me, it's you, not me, not me. This time it's not me.
Yeah, the fun thing is it's normally me. This is like the first episode ever where I'm not frozen and Pat is. So I'm not hating it. So yeah, we're in Thailand. Now you're doing ancestry.
Oh, ancestry. Yeah.
You're following your boyfriend, not scheming at all with his mom, not even a little bit. And you go to Ireland, or do you go to England?
We went to England, Ireland, and just because we did 5 days in Paris, because why not? You're right there.
Why not? You're there.
But yeah, so I found out on Mom's side of the the mom's side, they're from Newcastle. And so they're just right outside the Newcastle area. And so we saw the Hadrian Wall, we saw Vindolanda. And let me just tell you guys, if you have the opportunity to find your roots, plug PBS, good job. If you can find your roots, you guys, it is so empowering. It is such an incredible feeling. We found a headstone in the town that we ended up staying at, this like old Vickery house, Airbnb, not bed and breakfast, which turned out to be the old Vickery house, I guess. And it turns out one of my boyfriend's great uncles actually was a vicar there. So we were staying in the same place at a great uncle. And there was a bar there, shocking, that sold a lot of apple juice, where the foundations were set in the 1200s, again, taken from Hadrian's Wall. But it's one of the oldest bars in England, and it's called the Black Bull. And so we sat there. My boyfriend's 6'5", by the way. So it's really kind of funny having him walk in because, they're short. So he's kind of getting in.
Those old buildings, like I'm 6'3", and it's terrible. Yeah. You got a duck to do anything.
Right? Yeah. You're right. Well, I'm 5'2", so I was like high-fiving, like, woo, I can touch the ceiling. But yeah, no, when you're sitting there and you're having a drink and they act like a total asshole, you guys. I'm like, I'd like a Guinness. And they're like, freaking tourist.
Right.
Stupid.
Right.
No, I didn't get a Guinness. I got a Newcastle.
Question about your traveling. How were people with you traveling in Europe being American?
How are people when you're traveling with American?
Patrick's so annoyed right now.
I am so done. I'm so done. I'm just closing the laptop and moving to Ireland. So as Canadians,
anyway, yes.
When we go abroad and travel, they ask us if we're Americans.
Yeah.
All the time.
Right?
No, you guys are lucky.
And when they find out we're Canadians, they're like, yeah, we like you guys better. So how does that come across as an American going? And do you find that there's a difference when you travel with different groups of people?
Yes and yes. So, yes and no. Actually, I have to say I've been very fortunate. Everywhere we've gone, everyone's been extraordinarily friendly, even in Paris.
Wow.
I will say this, and I think it is because I tried very poorly, but I tried. I took French when I was in 7th grade for a semester, so 13 weeks. I learned French, but I remembered it because Monsieur Bouclier, he was amazing, and he was so mean to us that we just had this fear of learning from him. And then all of us remember. It's crazy. But I think when you travel, if you try to be part of the culture that you're in, they like that. They don't like it when you're like, I'm American and give me my ice. Now, mind you, when we were in Greece, we were dying. It was like 1,000 degrees in Athens. So we weren't begging we're like, could we please have ice?
Just ice.
I'm like, parakalo. And that's the other thing. I do learn the local language as much as I possibly can. And so I don't know any Greek language, but I learned freaking enough to navigate and learn. I don't know how. I think it's just my brain just goes into like, you speak Greek mode. And I was able to navigate and have some, at least no one kick our butts while we were there. So that was good. And having a 6'5" foot boyfriend kind of helps too.
That does help. They don't tend to kick your butt if you have a giant beside you.
Yeah.
I just recently went to Portugal, so I just started traveling. I'm pretty young, so since I'm young, I decided, you know what, I'm going to start traveling because I'm younger than Pat. And then, but the mistake I made, like you said, I went to Portugal, and I didn't know the language. I didn't know it. I couldn't even say hello. And you know what? That was a huge mistake. Everyone was so nice to me. In fact, most of the people I met went, "Oh, you're Canadian." And I'm like, "How did you know?" Apparently, I have a Canadian accent. I didn't even know we had accents.
Yeah, you do.
But I definitely have a Canadian accent because they all told me that. But I really felt bad because I didn't even try. I didn't know how to say hello or goodbye or thank you. So as I was there, I was trying more to learn those things. But you're already behind, So, but I really wish I had done that. You know Rachel Flores?
Rocky. Oh, girl, you're there? Okay, so I don't have my phone on me, so I can't see anyone's comments or anything. Rocky. I love her. She's my girl.
I would love to comment on it, but every time I open my mouth, I freeze.
You know what? I'm sure your partner's laughing and appreciating it. Dum.
Terrible.
If I had my soundboard closer, I would have hit the dum for
That
you.
would have been great.
Okay, so now let's get into that. How do you get to this podcast business?
Right.
I know. I'm so sorry.
Setup. I'm looking at the setup. We
Yeah.
got the mic. We got all the fancy stuff. You don't seem to have any tech problems. So obviously you are at a professional level that far superior than what we have. I'm probably frozen right now talking to myself, and
Maybe.
no one can hear anything that I'm.
Yeah, we don't have a clue what you're saying, man.
Right.
So yeah, no. At one time, you had a whole studio too. Like, so
yeah.
Went very professional. How do you go from traveling the world to I'm going to open a whole studio?
How long did you say this was? Because swear I could like
Hours.
really go down. I'm joking. Okay, so here's the deal. Here's what real. Okay, so it was a very convoluted. Maybe the apple juice is kicking in, and it was a very healthy pour. But let's just say this: what I found out when I was doing the genealogy, I found out very quickly after great grandparents level, people just becomes names, birth dates, death dates. There's no personality, there's no soul, there's no laughter, there's no love, there's no anger, there's no anything, right? Sarcasm. And it got me thinking, because I was like, well, son of a sea cook, I don't have children. I will never have children. So I knew, boop, I'm a dead end chain, right? On that little linky link, right? And it kind of got me a little sad. Not enough procreate. Don't worry about that, kids. But what it made me think about was, and you're going to love my swear words, son of a sea cook. I thought to myself, we have the technology, we have the ability to record ourselves. So that was my onus and inspiration of like, you know what? Let's do this podcast studio business. Let's help people create their own legacies. Now, that's all altruistic. That's all hippy dippy unicorns and sunshines, right? But the truth of the matter is this: that's great if you want to make that business. Which I actually we really debated was like, what if we just said we are in the family archival recording business? That's one option. Or we target businesses and say, look, your messaging and your branding and your marketing sucks balls. So can we just talk about that too? So because of my technology background, I was like, let's just focus on tech companies that don't know how to market themselves and give them personality. And that's where the business launched. And that's where the whole thing came from. So that, see, full circle. I know, I swear to God, I do the happy dance, but it gets there.
You killed it. It was great.
So like when you say tech businesses, are you talking about like podcasts like us, or are you talking about like Coca-Cola, or are you talking about like Hewlett-Packard? What are you talking about when you say?
Yeah. So we have consulted, and it's interesting. So well, now that I've got my own gig, I would say what I see more often than not is you get SMB, the mid-tier space. Okay, so not the corporate like enterprise where it's like Fortune, 1,000 up, right? Where there's like excess of 50 million plus whatever annual revenue and all that good stuff. They usually have teams.
Yeah.
When we engage with those types of folks, it's typically consulting. Usually it's like, hey, we want to do this. Here's our team that we've got. What are you seeing? Any advisement, right? And that's usually consulting. In the SMB space, that's a full gambit, right? That's where you get the folks that are like, hey, we have a team. Yeah, we might need some help. Or in that SMB space, it's, yeah, I'm a marketing department of 2. Like, we're just going to outsource it completely to you. That's a sweet spot because now we have a lot that we can do more for them. And we still do consulting and all that stuff, strategy and all that, how to integrate with our overall marketing goals and objectives. And because I think of like this whole live stream, podcasting and all that, that's a tool. It's a mechanism, right? To execute on an overall marketing strategy. And then there's the coaching side of it, where there's a lot of folks that are solopreneurs or maybe smaller businesses where they're like, hey, you're doing some cool stuff, can't afford you. And we fully understand that. Then here's some basic, good tips. Oh my God, I can't speak English.
Yeah.
Just, best practices that we can share.
Right.
So yeah, that's a lot of what I do is, and that's something I'm happy to share information freely. And a lot of people yell at me. They're like, you're wasting your time. And I'm like, I get it. But here's the deal. I can give you the world of information. How many people actually execute?
Right.
And that's
you're also creating value, right? Like you're creating value. And then when you go for the ask later, you've already created a world of value that has, changed potentially these individuals' businesses, their podcast, their brand identity. And then when you go for that pitch, you go for that ask. It's a softer touch, right? It's an easier pitch. I love that.
Yeah, it's usually not an ask. I don't even have to ask, actually. Like quite a bit of my clients, it's crazy. They'll come to me say, "Yeah, I done messed up AA wrong. I need some help." And you're like, "Okay, let's talk." Right? So, again, it's and here's the other thing. And I've learned this after 20 years in sales. You can't force a sale.
No.
You can't force a relationship. It's like dating. Yeah. It's like if I were to creepily like start crawling up to be like, "Hey man, hey, what's up? Hey, what's doing? What you doing? What you doing? What you doing? Hey, do you miss me? Hey, hey, I'm right here." I mean, you can't do that to people. It's creepy. I do it though. It's fun.
So the podcast, you've started this opportunity, I'm going to call it, and then you've used tools, right? The tools involved in that, because you came to us kind of through Mike.
Oh my God, did I come through you for Mike? I'm so sorry, you guys.
That's it. But
I'm so sorry.
So you've used LinkedIn, you've used these tools to create a network effect of a multiplier to be able to put your product out before people. And then, you have experiences like this, all the other things that you do, and then piggyback on top of that. Now, when you're working with, someone like Mike, or if you were taking on, even someone like us, like we briefly talked a little bit about what we're doing here with this podcast, but we're so new into this world, as you can tell by our tech savviness, is that trying to figure out what that next move is, like your job in that pitch is almost trying to figure out us as human beings and figure out what the hell we are trying to do so that you can implement, right? So how do you fit that kind of workaround in there, taking the human relationship and developing it to a brand relationship?
Oh my goodness. Okay, so it's funny. Okay, so it reminds me of a politician saying, companies are people. Okay, we're not doing that. We're not going to say that. But I will say this. People do business with people they know, like, and trust. Yes. People will do business with brands they know, like, and trust. Yes. People do business with brands they can relate to, which facilitates that know, like, and trust, right? Mm. So for a perfect example, and I love to just make this an example, is I think he's vacuuming right now. If you can hear that.
We cannot hear it.
Yeah, that must be a tech error on your side. Yeah. Just,
it's like the voices in my head sounds like a vacuum. Okay, so sorry you guys, that was like totally threw me off just now. Okay, come back. Wait, rewind. Okay, so here's the deal. Ending and like there has to be a time and place for marketing, right? Okay, right. So branding is the image, the sentiment of what you're thinking of when you think of an object, right? So this is apple juice in a jar,
right?
Because it holds higher volume than my regular cups.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because I have priorities, right? But anyway, so no, but what I'm saying though is when you think of a brand, typically you've got a vibe with it, right? So when you think of like I don't know. I'm thinking
Bud
Kleenex.
Light.
Bud Light. Okay. Here's the interesting thing about Bud Light. And I know nothing about the situation. But I will say this.
I just like to be a shit disturber, so I figured that I just tossed that one up there and
just grenade it right into Syya.
No, I love it. I love it like a love song, baby. I love these types of conversations because I do think there's like it's not just a black and white situation. It's very multifaceted. It's got a lot of layers. You gotta peel it like an onion. Yeah. Which by the way, there's some techniques I've just learned on TikTok that you can peel an onion without crying, which is awesome. Which
I've never cried while peeling onion. Just hasn't happened.
My
whole entire lifetime. I peel a lot of onions too. Are you disgusted with my the whole fact that I don't cry? I'm so sorry.
You're triggering my haterade right now. Just saying, dude. Like,
do you know why? Do you know why? I did a grade 8 presentation.
I don't know why.
On why. So onion onion releases a chemical response that is phosphophilic. So it is attracted to the water that is produced in your eyes, and it creates a chemical reaction which irritates your ocular lens, the lens of your eye, creates that and you tear up because of it. If you run water beside your cutting onions, fine.
So run water, but now you're wasting water.
Wow, see, we live in Canada, so until you invade
We got all
us,
kinds of water.
we got all the water we can handle, honey. Now
We got water like it's oil.
It's a little drier down there.
Dude, when we have to like us Southern Californians have to like aqueduct our water in Roman style. I'm right there with you. Yeah. No. Yeah. Okay. Going back to the question and task at hand, which is very difficult. So I'm just want to say I'm impressed.
Right.
I just pulled it back. I just want to pull it back.
I just want to say science.
Right, for the win.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm wearing?
Red light.
I feel.
Oh no, this is Howard Jones. This is Howard Jones.
You can only get something.
Things can only get better.
Oh yeah, it's true.
Howard Jones. But I had a Thomas Dolby t-shirt too that I didn't wear. I'm a big music person, by the way. So it blinded me with science. You guys are younger than me then, if you don't know that reference.
I am old. Like by a lot.
I know Patrick. I could probably have birthed Patrick, I'm guessing.
I could have gave
36. I don't think so.
Okay, maybe not.
Right.
Yeah. I, on the other hand, could have given birth. Well, not personally.
Hey,
that's a whole other topic. Now let's get back to Bud Light because I feel like
I know. Okay, you're making me like dance on the Bud Light. Okay, so I think there is a risk brands take of when they stray from their core. Right.
Yes.
I do think, but I do think the core doesn't always have to be so stringent. Like you guys were making fun of HP, right? Hey, by the way, I think you're also combining IBM. IBM was known for the white shirts and like tie look. Yeah. HP was a lot more familial. Like Hewlett Packard was so familiar when I first joined in 2008. It was amazing. Really? I loved it. Love the culture. And then there was this BS. Anyway, okay, I don't want to get started. Anyway. So that's another story. But when you stray as a brand too far away from your core,
totally,
I think that's where problems happen.
Yes.
However, I also believe that brands need to evolve. I think they took a risk, and I think they got their ass handed to them for it. I think they don't. That to me was data science misstep. Someone misread the market research saying, we can sustain a controversial figure to do a simple little TikTok or wherever the heck it was.
Yeah.
And upset the core audience. So I think Bud Light misstepped, which is why you see all their marketing people get fired, which honestly.
They should.
But now, like, okay, so those
but that's people, a business call. That's business call. That's not a social call. I just want to clarify.
100%. Yeah, absolutely. So when you get the call from the Bud Light marketing team and you are getting axed, and then you go home and you work on your resume because you've been with Bud Light for the last 10 years, what the hell do you put in that resume? Because you're not putting in Bud Light.
You know what? It's funny. I forgot his first name and I'm going to apologize. John Keys. He was the CEO when Blockbuster made their massive misstep and went down.
Because they didn't take Netflix.
They didn't take Netflix, and they they were right here, local business. And John Keys Jr., I think is his name. So
Mud.
I have not physically met him, but I met him virtually through this network of I used to be part of this business organization thing, and so we met a lot of entrepreneurs and amazing leaders. But he's been very brutally honest, and he just simply said, yeah, the data that was presented to me at that time, it felt like this was the proper direction. And that goes to ultimately the data you get. Right. And unfortunately for him, he's maligned for that. But at the same time, it could have swung the other way. Right. And that's what they say about, defeat and all that good stuff. Yeah. So,
but Netflix was for a very long time awful. Like I remember the days where it was a Dropbox. You got your little DVD. Nobody used that. It was when, again, and you want to talk about, you know, the 4G, 5G piece that you experienced yourself. When you're able to have that technological advancement, it doesn't matter. It's disruptive. There's no way to know what's coming until it's hitting you right in the face. And again, Blockbuster is the example. So we're in Canada here. We have Research in Motion, BlackBerry, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
The town that we live in,
Yes.
Jim Balsillie, who was the CEO of BlackBerry, or sorry, the CEO of Research in Motion, he's from here. So all our pools, all of our buildings are all the Balsillie family stuff, right? You want to talk about a guy that missed the pivot, right? They were the phone. They were the product.
Yeah.
If you had a BlackBerry on your hip, you were tech. You were that guy. And now, what, you got a security program? That's all you got? Like, it's just so vastly different. But they didn't see that smartphone pivot in the way that Apple did.
Yeah.
And the way that Jobs envisioned that touch, that pad, that all that sort of thing. And they fell behind drastically.
Well, I think, okay, so in full earnestness, I think RIM had so much going for it. And by the way, they were sustained because of their security. Okay, so my background, like I said, was cybersecurity and all that.
Yeah, they had a really good security system.
Amazing, right? So if you saw it, like what sustained RIM for a long time was government. They started becoming more government focused than consumer space, right? And so again, that's understanding your market, right? From a if you think about it from a government perspective, when you are in a high volatile situation, having that tactile feeling, the buttons between an emergency situation, is almost like Braille, right? So it makes sense to have those types of devices. Having a screen touch, whatever, touch pad, whatever, you're not gonna know where you're hitting, especially if like the bolts over your head, like you're like, oh wait, hold please. Oh, let me move over a quarter of an inch this way, right? Like it doesn't make sense. So, but again, it's knowing your audience, pivoting at the right time. So here's my question. So Bud Light, big misstep. Let me ask you guys this, because this has got to be, like, I still think about it. In fact, I've actually thought about reaching out to these people. Do you guys remember pets.com and Webvan Group?
Yeah.
I want to reach out to those guys and be like, hey,
you want to do a documentary?
I'm so like on board with that. Like what do these people think today, right? Like they were 20 years too early.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know what pets.com was, so Syya is obviously, like she was saying, started before the .com bubble. And what that was you had all of these companies that if you could get a website together, you could be listed on the stock exchange and go from zero to hundreds of millions, if not multi-billions of dollars almost overnight. Well, but there was nothing tactile to them. So pets.com has become this amazing example of a company that unfortunately went to an online sales platform 20 years too early. And they were going to ship you dog food and they were going to ship you all the things you wanted to do. And people are like, I want to go in and put it on my cat. Right?
Are you that lazy?
Right. And it is, looking at it now, you're like, it's that prime mover. If you can get that prime mover, sometimes you win. But there's a lot of dead soldiers at D-Day that were the prime mover. And, you know, that's a terrible way of putting that. That's pets.com.
Yeah. Webvan Group, you guys, they were the original. They were the pre-Amazon, if you think about it.
Right.
I mean, Amazon was a freaking book company.
Like, you have to educate the people about your business, and they just didn't do a good enough job. At the time, people didn't want it either.
I think that's the big thing, right? Know your audience. We did not have the phones. We did not have the smartphones technology just yet. They anticipated and went to market too soon. And that's the problem, right? Because after we had our smartphones, when you can be like, oh, wait, I could order online here on this device. Have a lot easier, right? So going back to your Bud Light, I think it's a different situation, but I do think I think they thought they would be cool to be provocative, but they forgot their core.
And that it's an election year.
Oh yeah. Hey,
I kind of wonder if they felt that their base would not see it. and that the liberal side would see it and they would take it off, and they would get that other group to start drinking Bud Light and thinking it was cool.
Well,
because TikTok isn't really like what they were probably expecting the people who drink their beer to watch.
That's a true statement.
Unfortunately, it's not true.
Well, no, I think you're right, because Bud Light has other brands under it that they are focusing on the Gen Z and the Gen X or Gen X, Gen Z.
Yeah.
I mean, look, Gen X, the world should evolve around us. I'm just saying it. Right. But anyway,
as a millennial, that hurts a little, but I'm just saying.
Hurt.
Right.
Everything hurts a millennial. What are you talking about?
Oh my God. What doesn't hurt a millennial?
Yeah. I'm offended.
Okay, I apologize. It's bothering me. My screen just went blank, so I don't even see you guys. Can I just move over real quick and just turn my...
Absolutely. You can do whatever you want. Mostly giving you the finger for the last couple minutes, but other than that...
Oh, have I?
All good.
Yeah. Have I been picking my nose?
Yeah. James, it is so hard to get good help and guests that don't have wild tech problems.
Tech problems. Like, we're professionals.
And these people better.
We really do. We never freeze or have tech problems or like.
No, damn. I'm looking at my lighting. I'm like, damn, you guys. Why didn't you guys tell me I was like hella bright?
You look fine. What are you talking about?
Beautiful.
Hold on. Like, I really dig your blazer. In fact, that is a nice blazer.
Oh, thank you. Like
the emergency blazer.
My emergency. Hey, look, if you
asked me to mention it, that's why I'm mentioning it.
If you want me to get closer, I could show you. Like, apparently my dog has rubbed up against it because I have it hanging on the, on the door. Like, so okay, so fun fact. If you're ever doing like studios, like we've all done this where, like, especially in the Zoom age, you wanted like a blazer to just cover and be like, okay, I look more professional, like whatever. And so that's what I did today because I was like, oh, I'm wearing my Howard Jones t-shirt. I'm like, I just put a jacket over it. F it.
Just, grab a quick shower, a Howard Jones.
I did bathe.
Yeah.
I know it's a big deal. Yeah. I figured I would totally slide that in there and away we go.
We got the blazer, we got the bathing in. We're doing good. We got it all in. We talked about this in the green room. So
see, when we fly down to Dallas here and we meet you, what is it that you folks have? Like, do you have a studio set up? You have a space? Or have you gone now into your own spot where you're doing all this and just kind of conquering the world from there?
No, I don't have a studio space, and I will not invite you into my wonderfully organized office here in my bedroom, or not bedroom. I guess it's, as my boyfriend likes to call it, apparently we have a studio in the house now. You guys come into town and I will hook you up and we will have a lot of fun. And I know so many cool people, like legit, if you want to, like, there are places that are members only. If you guys want to like really just have some fun, we can do.
I'm booking tickets right now.
I can't advertise because they don't allow it, but I always sneak it through.
I love it. Okay, so now I hear that Houston, I don't want to offend anybody because I'm sure there's like a little animosity here, but I hear Houston is like now the new hotspot.
Only because Raquel just said that, because I haven't seen any comments on, I can't tell from here, but no, Raquel, it's not Houston. No, I think Houston's pretty cool. I mean, they've got their own thing going on. I mean, if you have a death wish, absolutely drive in Houston during rush hour.
Really?
Like, you guys, if you guys want to like say, I'm not living life enough, I just want to like, die, like drive in Houston. Yeah, no, girl.
I didn't even know this. She did not put me up to this, but now she is a part of this conversation.
She's in.
So she's saying bring her in.
Send her an email and say, come on in.
If it wasn't for the fact that I know she's actually girlfriend's jet setting to El Salvador, like she's probably packing and probably looks amazeballs right now. And I know her. She would not come online. Triple dog dare you.
Get in here.
Yeah. We'll just send her a link. She can come right on. So I don't know anything about Texas or Houston. So Houston, is that close to where you are?
It's about 4.5 hour drive.
Oh, that doesn't sound like.
Yeah, no.
There and then come back.
Do you want to hear another fun fact? I'm really queen of fun facts, and you're gonna hear it anyway, whether you like it or not. Just saying. The distance between Dallas and El Paso, which is still in Texas, is shorter than El Paso to Los Angeles. That's how big Texas is.
Yeah, it's huge. Yeah. So my father who he recently passed away here, and he was like legit a cowboy. I know that sounds kind of crazy coming from Canada. Rodeoed, ranched, all that kind of thing.
He was John Wayne.
He was a
John Wayne. He had a hat like John Wayne.
That's Calgary, right?
He stood 6'4" like John Wayne, even though he was.
This is just outside Toronto, and this is still the way he walked and talked and ran life, right? When he went down, and this was all going back when there was a big uprising, there was a big native reservation protest going down there in Wounded Knee, and he was down rodeoing all through down, the Midwest of the United States and down into Texas. And he pulled up and he wanted to go to the King Ranch. I don't know if you've ever heard of it before. So the King Ranch is one of the world's largest ranches. It's absolutely massive. So he had been driving. They picked up a car. I think they flew into Houston and were kind of heading that way. And he pulled into this gas station. And I said to the guy, he's got a big map out because, we didn't have smartphones back then, obviously. So he pulls out this big map and he's looking on it. And he's like, I'm looking for the King Ranch. And the guy's like, at the gas station, he goes, which way are you coming from? And he's like, well, I'm coming wherever. Houston, I think, is where they flew into. And he's like, well, sir, you have been on the King Ranch for about 40 minutes.
Oh, geez. Oh, okay. Well, there's a King Ranch. Okay.
Right. So I don't know if you've ever, like Ford trucks, there's a King Ranch edition. Like they are the ranch, right? So it's that's how big Texas is, and it's always just been that way to me. That it's just everything's bigger in Texas.
Everything.
No, legit. I mean, I don't think people really fully appreciate how wide, and then Alaska's that much bigger, right? And then you think about like Canada, just like you guys, like that much bigger.
Yeah, but we all live along the bottom.
I know.
Yeah.
I get it, but still, it's still ginormous.
Like our whole population just rolls along the Great Lakes.
The worst part about it is this time of year is like the igloos start to melt, right?
They do.
So we got to fight off polar bears just outside of the igloo. So like when I get off here and I want to go collect water for my family, I'll have to put on the parka.
Yeah. It is spear sharpening season.
You guys are way too south for polar bear. I'm like, this does not factually jibe with my viewpoint, even after my apple juice here, young man. Millennial.
So the province that we live in is called Ontario, and we live in the very bottom of it. And about 8, maybe 12 hours to drive, maybe a little less, 10 hours drive north of us, you are in polar bear country.
Dang. Well, that's 10 hours, you guys. That's like from us, from Dallas to Amarillo, right? Like Amarillo, Amarillo. I mean, like that's a long drive. Like, you're not messing around. But
if those damn polar bears ever get pissed off enough and figure out how to get on a bus,
I have a question.
I have an answer.
I have heard that brown bears and polars, because I got excited. I choked on my own saliva. That polars, they're bonding, and there's some things trickling down that are like, wait, it's not a bear. That's not a brown, or that's not a grizzly. You guys are grizzly, right?
That polar bears and brown bears are mating?
Yeah, because polars haven't been having to come down because, I know, Patrick, you don't want to hear it, but like allegedly we're like warming up and stuff like that at times, and like, like moving along.
It's almost like
Patrick for under an hour, you already know he doesn't want to hear that. Yeah. It is true, like, because we're having like coyotes and bears move closer to us. Like in our city, we do have bears every summer that come down.
I had a bear in my backyard.
Yeah.
Did you
subdivision? Yeah.
It's not because of global warming, apparently. It's because
so my subdivision is like a fairly large subdivision, but it's surrounded by acreage, right? So these black bears just roll in, come in, steal out of people's gardens, and then run back into the woods. And then you call the municipality, they come out, trank the thing, and ends up probably hanging in somebody's garage by the end of the year, and away they go, right? So, but it's it's wild. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, first off, do you guys get moose too? Mooses?
Not where we are. Moose
Yeah.
are probably a couple hours, 2 or 3 hours north of us.
North. Okay.
We get deer though, lots of deer.
Oh man. See, like
deer, coyotes.
okay, coyotes, like we get coyotes. So in fact, like so I live on a golf course that's kind of like a creek. It's like
I hear it's a mansion, by the way.
Yeah, we just heard you live in a mansion.
I live in a mansion. Do I really? That's funny because I don't certainly actually. I'm lazy, so it does feel like a mansion when I have to clean this damn house. So yeah.
Well, you took that California money and you went to Texas. We all know how that works.
No, I was conservative. I will say I'm going to give full credit to the BF. And by the way, just so you know, 21 years we just celebrated.
Wow. I was going to say 21 years and BF.
Wow.
When's he putting the ring on that?
Oh, I don't care. I have the ring. Like I have the ring. We're committable. We just, there is no taxable benefit to marriage.
You're right.
And anything. And on top of that, we're extraordinarily, like I told you, I'm basic. Like you guys are lucky I bathe. I didn't bathe for the other previous live stream. Okay.
I love this.
But we can talk about that too. But no, look, you guys, financially speaking, and I'm sure you guys did and had your lovely weddings. But to me, to drop $1,000 on an event that I probably don't give two shits about with family and friends that probably I don't give two shits about, but I have to do it politically. And then I'm not going to have kids. Why? And we're not religious. So that's the other thing that we're like, ain't nothing holding us back. And we've always kept our finances separate to my dismay. So, he saves, I spend, perfect relationship.
That works well. Yeah.
That's why I'm still hustling.
I have been married and have since left marriage. And yeah, no, I wouldn't recommend it either. People I talk to, you throw a party for a bunch of other people that don't really care. And then you get married and you live a long life, and then you give half your stuff to someone else. It's not a winning, and there is no tax breaks when you're married.
No, there is. I was going to ask, is Canada the same way? Because it's like,
it's awful.
Your divorce laws, or is it like, I don't know.
Our divorce laws are awful.
Are they?
So you guys have like no fault divorce, right? Or no?
I don't know.
Okay, because so we have no fault divorce. So in some states, I know that they have where somebody has to be proven as the like actual party that ends the marriage, and there's like a liability established there. Whereas here in Canada, we're what's called no fault divorce. Like you can just tomorrow
break up and just call it a day.
We don't have to. You don't have to say why we broke up or anything like that. We can just go.
Very European of you.
Very European of us, yes.
Well, we're very.
But welcome. Thank you, Quebec.
Quebec.
So
the issue with that is that like. I am frozen. Apparently,
what's the issue? I'm missing the issue. What's the issue?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes, I can.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Jesus. The issue is that, I'm gonna start throwing it. Is what I'm gonna do. This is ridiculous. The issue that we have here is like, and again, it's a statistic everywhere, but we are well over a 50% marriage fail rate. So my generation kind of looked around, thought about getting married, and was like, I don't think so. Why would I do that? Yeah. Right? So no, I have a beautiful daughter, but not married. Was not married, and that was the easier way to go about it. So. Mm-hmm.
Well, so here's the thing that for me was, and you profiteers, I feel like marriage was more of a money-making scheme, and religion had a play in it to guilt you into do it, right? Because really, ultimately, marriage is a business contract, right? But they mask it with religion and love, right? But ultimately, I see in a lot of ways, as jaded as I am about relationships in general, is you do enter into your mutual assets. So for couples that do combine their assets, you have children, it makes sense. That's where what's that called, you guys? The premarital rep. Oh,
prenuptial.
Prenup.
Yeah.
Hey, wait, hold on. I'm just gonna have another sip. Pre-rep.
Prenup.
No, but that's where the prenup, I think, makes sense, right? And I think that's where people are like, oh, you're taking the romance out of marriage. It's like, marriage was never romantic. The idea and notion of marriage out of love is a 1900s 20th century construct,
Yeah.
right? It's after the Victorian age, I think, where it really came into play. Because prior to that, it was always business relationships. It was
Right.
look at the royalty; they always did it to just not go to war with each other, with their cousins and brothers and sisters.
Or it
'Cause
was a
they're-
business deal where they're like linking farms or like trading sheep or
Can I
whatever,
ask a
right?
question? Yes, I have a
You can
question.
always ask a question. You don't even have to ask
Because you're
that.
part of the Commonwealth.
We
How
are.
was your coronation?
Oh,
Do you
it's
care?
amazing. Yeah. Who was coronated? I don't even really know what you're talking about. We don't watch that
So,
crap.
so Canada, there is such a generational thing here. So, like my parents' age group, I'm fucked again, aren't I?
You were. Yeah, it was a good look for you too. So in Canada, it depends on what. So if you're older than me, even, you're very into the Queen and the King and all this stuff. My age, most of the people my age don't care. We
Okay,
don't want
I have to
anything do
ask.
with royalty.
Can I
Yeah.
ask you how old you are? Because I'm
Oh,
just like I'm killing.
53.
Damn it.
I'm
Okay,
old
I
man.
am younger than you, but not by
I
much.
know.
But
I
not
knew
by
you
much.
were younger
Are
than
you
me.
kidding me?
No, I'm not
What?
kidding.
You're not
I did
much.
at the other. Not that much, actually. Wait, you're 53, so
Yeah.
I would not have been in high school with you, but I would have been following it behind fairly quickly.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm 49 this year.
Holy. No, I would
See,
never
you
have
look
guessed that.
fantastic, hon.
Yeah. I was thinking like 40, maybe.
I would have thought younger than me.
Yeah.
I'm wearing a Howard Jones T-shirt, James.
No,
You
no, I
should
get it.
know. You should
I
know.
get that.
That's-
but it's
I'm
really
a
trendy.
millennial. We do that out of like bullshit. Like we
That's
come up with
right.
all
Oh.
like it's cool to be that. Like
Yeah.
you're in Dallas. Of course it's ironically pondering music.
Okay, I'm literally looking on the back side, and by the way, I said literally just for you two.
Nice. Instead of
Literally,
figuratively.
I have a wall of posters, and that's one thing I'm not basic about. I actually have signed posters. So Johnny Marr from the Smiths. I have Decemberists, Men Without Hats, Kraftwerk. Like I
Those
also
are bands, Patrick. Bands.
Yeah.
these are bands that you've probably never heard of
They go on
before.
the thing.
I have okay, if you really want to be cool, and
You are aging yourself now.
weirdly, oddly, my first crush, and it's been kind of odd, but do you guys remember Rocky Horror Picture Show?
Oh, fuck yeah. Absolutely. Rocky Horror
Patrick's
Picture
like-
Show is like amazing.
I know what it is, but I don't know where you're coming up with a crush out of there because that was quite the shit show.
So
Yeah.
Tim Curry.
Tim
was
Curry, yeah.
my first odd crush. I have a picture with him. I'm literally looking at it right now. So there's a signature with him, unfortunately post stroke, but I have him, and he's just got his like little. Oh my god, I just love him. It's
He
very
was a talented man.
androgynous, and yet I love. I love men. But Tim Curry, when he was dressed up in that character, I was like, oh yeah, that's some awesomeness. And I was very. By the way, when I first saw it, that movie came out before me, but it was a very interesting one. But anyway.
But Tim Curry did an amazing job. Like he was the whole show.
I mean,
He
okay.
was it. If it wasn't for him, that show wouldn't have taken off.
No, that movie would not have. Yeah. And Clue. Really. Patrick, you know Clue, so I know you know Clue. If you don't know Clue, we can't be friends.
The game?
The movie. Tim Curry played.
Yes,
Butler.
Yes.
Patrick.
Are we talking like Colonel Mustard with the revolver?
Yes. There was a movie.
There was.
And I'm like, I almost want to pick up that webcam and like show it to you right now. You got to watch Clue, 1986. I think it came out, and
it wouldn't matter. I'm frozen anyways. I can't see anything you're doing.
So,
I can hear you, young man.
We can hear you and see you. So you're lying to us now.
Wait, hold up. How did you guys meet now? Because now I'm really thoroughly like interested now. Because James, you're a little bit older. Patrick,
I'm a little bit older.
I'm 36. We met on a gay dating site.
Called Grindr.
And you swiped left, didn't you? I don't know. Swipe right. I don't know.
Yeah. No. We're very not gay. But
but you would. Hey,
together.
admit it. On an island, would you or would you not?
No, I wouldn't.
Patrick's like, Now
Hey,
you want to be
you got?
frozen.
He's really cute.
Yeah, he's frozen. Yeah, he's frozen again.
He's frozen. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, prime time. No,
Yeah,
James and I have worked together. We've been buddies for a long time, and then this kind of rolled from that. So, yeah.
God, I just love that.
We
Okay,
met,
so
I don't know, 10, 15 years ago. I don't even remember. Through work, and we just hit it off. And then we started at work. We were having debates, and then we started hanging out outside of work at bars and having debates. And we kind of had that personality that we were friendly but at odds quite a bit. And the only thing we actually get along on is about religion mostly, but there are things in religion that we don't get along with. But yeah, no, it's he is an older soul. Don't worry, you're not going to burn. Like, it's fine. He is an older soul, and so it's really, he's not a millennial. Let's say, like, he doesn't get offended by anything. He doesn't, like, he talks about intelligent things. Not that millennials aren't intelligent. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm just saying that he has an older soul.
Wrecked our brand.
well, Patrick, do you have older siblings?
I am an
No.
only child.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, that either older siblings or older child. Ex-millennials. That's kind of you're actually the young age of it, but you're kind of there. You're kind of there. And no,
I was pretty fortunate growing up. So my family always had businesses, and I was kind of tagged along and did that. So my father was a hoisting engineer by trade, and then they started my mother was a nurse, and then they kind of walked away from that, and they opened paint and decorating businesses. So there was a chain in Ontario that's called Color Your World, which was like a big franchise chain. And then so we were doing that, and then my father, being the cowboy that he was, playing with horses. So I was always tagged along. I've done deals in barns with Amish people. I've done ICI, one of the biggest DuPont paint companies in the world. I've been to their headquarters doing deals there. So at 11, 12, 13 years old, this was kind of my world. So just the idea of going out and shooting hoops with the boys on a Friday night, there's more to it, right? So I think I like that little bit deeper conversation. And I think that's why, the podcast is kind of a cool thing too. And I get to hang out with guys like this, who's, in a lot of ways, just a stand-up guy, a great father, and just a really good all-around dude. And I get to call him an asshole every once in a while. And it makes me really good.
Yeah.
Right. So
I think it's really so interesting. Your vibe, you two are like so much fun. And then that's such a hard combination. And like, look, I'm just gonna throw it out there, like just hanging out with you guys. Like I would easily if we met up in person, I feel like we could record the exact same episode. It would be the exact same way, right?
Right.
And I think that's the whole thing about authenticity that everyone talked about in LinkedIn. I'm a LinkedIner, by the way. So that is something that we all covet, right? Because everyone wants to pretend. Hold up. I'm by the way, I'm only wearing this jacket because I thought it'd be kind of like one of those cool things where like a t-shirt and jacket look, not because I want to look
it's
proper.
a good look.
You look great.
But that being said, is like, and then also I want to share that my dog fur apparently is like all over this. It's amazing. But what I find fascinating, I love about you guys, and I'm so thrilled, and thank you so much for having me, because it's rare I get to be a guest. And by the way, I am literally like 3 feet away from my soundboard to shut you guys all off if I need to, right? Kind of thing. It's rare that I get to be just me talking to you guys. So thank you so much on that, because damn it, Janet. And by the way, that is a Rocky Horror Picture Show reference.
It is. Yeah.
Patrick.
I'm going to have to watch it now and catch up. I have seen parts of it. It was
Damn it, Janet is a pretty good song.
So anyway, I have a random idea if you guys are in for this.
Totally in.
Just
100%.
roll with me.
Yeah.
We may need to do a movie watching. Have you guys Mystery Science 3000?
No.
Oh my God. Okay, so it might be an American thing.
Mystery.
Okay, no, that was the name of the show back in the 70s and 80s. So it's basically reaction videos that you see on YouTube now.
Okay.
James, what if we had Patrick? Like we just recorded off, like just
watch Rocky Horror Picture Show with us.
How fun. And with Raquel, because I know she's gonna want to do it. How fun would that be? Like
that would be so fun, especially if we had some drinks. And the experience for him,
I would suggest drinks before and then we watch it.
And then we watch it, and then and then we just have like a camera like on him. I think it would be great. You can still hear us.
Oh my God, he's frozen right
trying
now.
to figure out what we can book for because I like the idea.
Wait, he's frozen. Oh damn it! You know what we should do? Yeah. Oh my gosh, James.
I can still hear he is. Still here he is.
You know, he was
not alive.
We should do a face of like this.
That's what you were doing.
That's what you were frozen on.
I don't even know how you get frozen like that.
Could you guys give me your video? I totally want to have some fun with this. I will have so much fun with this.
100%.
Yeah, you're going to get a hard copy of this. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Like, I don't want to end this, but I feel like I've only got about 4 seconds of bandwidth left, and then I'm just going to float away into existence. So, So, Syya, here at Soaring Prophets, see, I'm sorry.
Syya wouldn't want to be a Syya chandelier.
I'm going to get it by the end of this, I swear. So at the end of this, we usually don't try to do like gotcha type kind of things, but we are today because I know you can roll with it.
I'm so sorry. Before you ask this question, my stupid monitor just closed off again. Can we go do it? Like, sorry.
Yeah.
I know we're trying to end it. I know.
Yeah,
I'm going to freeze, so don't worry about it.
We are so, that's like a great picture of you, Syya. Right there.
I couldn't tell.
It's funny that, you know, the one time we have a podcaster on, and this is like the most like tech explosion.
I honest to God, I was so excited to chat with her and be like, hit this and do a really good job. Right there she is. There she is. Coming straight into your homes, folks.
Coming in. She's coming in.
Coming in hot. Coming in hot.
Get ready. Here comes Syya.
I know.
So Syya, coming back around to that, there's no gotcha questions, but I'm kind of throwing it at you here.
Do it.
So when we leave this tonight, I have a little sign off that I do, kind of updating people. James has a little sign off, and then we're sticking you. You get the last word. It better be inspirational. It better be fantastic.
Yeah.
And this is your gotcha. Yeah. See, I'm not taking no for an answer.
Literally read the poster in front of you that says, "Hang in there, buddy."
There you go.
I actually have something, but it's not proper and I can't show it. But okay.
Oh,
I love it. As always, folks, thank you, Profiteers, for joining us tonight. I apologize for the technical difficulties. I am talking right now, probably frozen. You can't hear anything I'm saying, I'm sure. But as always, thank you for joining us. And from me, let's make some money together, guys. And we'll see you real soon.
Profiteers out there, another amazing podcast. Syya, I'm so happy you came and joined us. We've looking forward to this. We've heard a lot of great things. I've watched some of your stuff, and I think it's very funny that you're like an experienced podcaster when we just fall apart. Like we were pretty excited about this one. Folks, next week, our sexual assault recovery council of 4 people that we videotaped live and in person in the studio is supposed to be revealed next week. Rob is currently cutting it up right now as we speak. I was assured that it would be done by now, but I don't think it's done quite yet. But it will be released next week, along with a lot of the Guelph stuff where they're going to have public speakers talking about sexual assault and recovery and addiction. And I hope you tune in and check it out. It's going to be very amazing. It's a very moving piece where 4 people really dive deep in their recovery. And it is incredible where these guys came from and where they're ending up. And I hope you guys watch it. And if you have ever experienced anything traumatic like that, I think it'll be very helpful for you all. And next week we'll have another exciting guest. And Syya, I am so glad you're here. And you know what? I am looking forward to us hanging out again, whether we fly down to Texas or you fly to Canada, or we just do it like this again. And folks out there, as always, let's stay motivated. Let's stay happy. Go get your goals. And if you want to quit your job, get a package and fly across the world, who knows what your life will become. Let's heal our minds, bodies, and souls together.
And you're
There you
up.
are. See ya.
Don't let us down.
OMG. Wait, hold up. I cannot
Hit it.
follow a hardcore, serious, very serious topic such as SA
Yeah.
and all that. And I'm like, I like apple juice.
I like
Man.
it.
Apple juice.
I
No,
cannot lie.
oh my God, you just freaking
I'm
threw me
sorry.
on that one. You son of a sea cook. Yeah,
Oh.
did it. I swear, I want to redo, but I will say this much, you guys. Thank you so
I'm
much for
sorry.
your time. You guys are so much fun. And here's what I think for you guys that I wish everyone that wants to create content, of which I am a producer for, so I talk to a lot of people about this kind of stuff. Be yourself. Be true to your soul. Be true to who you are. Have and enjoy the light that's within you, because that is everything and anything that you could share within yourself to love yourself, but love others as well. And that is why I named my company Brilliant Beam Media, because when we, like James, like Patrick, like myself, when we combine our super Care Bear stairs together, people might know that reference.
I am just old enough.
How much more brilliant is our beam together, right, guys? You guys are freaking awesome. I love you like love song babies. And thank you so much for having me. Thank you for having me.